We're live.
Hello.
I'm here with Eva. I'm Anna. You're on my page right now, or maybe you're watching it somewhere else. And what is possible today? We are here. We don't really know what to talk about more than we want to be here and talk about something with energy and creations, and I suppose like almost creating from energy, and like when following the energy and just letting life be more magical, it's so much more fun to live. And Eva, you said like you contacted me like, hey, I want more fun stuff in my life, and this feels like a fun thing. So
I want more fun stuff. I want
yeah.
Anna. No, yeah, to do a live or for the symphonies as well. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I blew the surprise now. Because we've been doing symphony sessions for 3
Yes.
weeks now. So it's been a lot about more relaxation and more creation for me, my own space, and like asking more questions about light energies instead of problem solving energies. And so it was like, this is too good to just have in the group we're in now, maybe. So why don't we get it out there and share it? Because it's just yum.
I like it so much. And so in this creation, it is, I started with weekly like symphony group sessions, Symphony of Possibilities. It's an energy to just have more magic in life. So it's not like a healing, it's not a therapy, it's more like opening up to a space of working with the energies and accessing more possibilities in life. And that brings us like a really relaxation and just a different way of being in life, which I really like to be in. And I have this, like, we're a group with amazing beings that are playing with me now every week, and this has been our 3rd week, and now I'm like opening it up to whoever wants to join, because I'm like, this is good, this is a nice vibe, and who else wants to know about this should have the possibility. So here we are. And Eva, maybe you want to like say something more, like what has your experience been this far in being in this space?
So professional, this question. Well, I mean, it's been really good to do it every week. For like, first of all, because I sometimes forget to incorporate the Symphony of Possibilities in my life. And I was telling you, I think before, that there was like a lot of separation still. So I was like, now I'm doing Symphony of Possibilities and now I'm in my life. Mm-hmm. And with like doing the weekly group sessions, it's actually like an invitation to like, and a reminder to always incorporate it or be it. But so, because the more you're in it, the more you be it. It's like really hard to explain. Like, it's not like the more you practice, but like the more you just include it. So I've been like really happy. Like, it's been a gift, because I did the Symphony of Possibilities myself in November, and then it was like I was like skyrocketing, and then I suddenly like plunged down back into this reality. I was really like sort of fighting to get back out of it, which is like totally not the way, of course. And so this was like, I asked a question into the universe, like, okay, you know, what would it take to like, you know, get that symphony energy like back into my life, like include it back. And then you came with your creation. I was like, oh, this is great. So it's been like just really great to infuse it this way.
I really like how yeah, that's amazing. And it's like how you asked for it, and then like, okay, here it is, and this is really what would be a contribution. And I think that is as well, it's almost like training a muscle of being an energy. Like, we, as I see it, we create our lives, we create the way we have our different experiences, and we can always choose the energy. And then it's like, yeah, do I want to create from magic or not magic? And the symphony energy for me, and what I hear of you, and you can please say something more about that, like, it's almost like when including it and just choosing it over and over, it's almost like you train yourself in being a space where it's just like life starts to be more easy and joyful.
It's really funny because like I just got the awareness when you were saying the word train, and a lot of people on Access use that. And then I got the awareness of like how much conclusion and definition I've put to training yourself, because for me, that comes with a lot of force. So I was like, oh yeah, like that's why I sometimes go, no, I don't want to like train a muscle. And then so it's like, oh wait, it like I'm defining that word totally differently, because it could also be like invitation or inclusion or whatever, just like including it. And I was like, oh, this is why I get into so much resistance, because people say you have to train this muscle, and I go, oh, I have to work hard. But then it's actually like relaxing and more ease.
Yeah. That's nice. And that is really when we put a conclusion into a word, it's like, okay, I'm gonna like not go into anything that has with that to do, but then actually like, okay, but what is that for me? And and just like, yeah, training can be one thing, but actually it's more like, okay, you're choosing it over and over. And then it's more, okay, what is it that I want to choose more of? And can I choose more of it now? And if I choose more of it now, and then that is just like developing and expanding something different. Yeah.
It's so like non-linear, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's this like journey you can't really predict, or you can't say like, okay, with every week I'm like growing this much or whatever. So it's I like how that works. And it's also like really like telling myself, okay, don't try to linearize this or whatever, because you know that's not the way it works. And I like with the weekly things, it's almost impossible to do my little control shit on it. So it's actually like been quite a gift, like, because it goes so fast as well. A week goes quite fast for me. So it's like, oh, we're on the next space. So it's actually like, it doesn't give me the opportunity to like control it back into a poo.
I like that. And it's, I'm also quite fascinated over this. I mean, we, in a way, 3 weeks, we just started, but it's already in my feel like this of that. Okay, I want to say so many things at the same time. Like when you continue to be with an energy, it's not just like, okay, there it was and there it went. I might listen to a recording sometime, but whatever. When it's really like, okay, I'm gonna be here now. Like we have said now for 10 weeks, and then I already get the sense that this will continue, and that like now inviting more people, like you can either drop in and just be there in one class and just not a class, in one session, and get into that energy and be like, okay, what is that? And you can also be able to choose to join the journey for several weeks. And I really get that it's almost like committing to magic. It's like, okay, I'm gonna be here now, and I'm actually gonna just receive for like 30 minutes every week. That sounds a little, but when you're just being in that space and being like, okay, I'm actually gonna be here for several weeks, that whole thing will be with you during the week. Even if you don't think about it, it's just like infusing everything and actually seeing that, okay, if everything is energy, which is where I like to function from, what are the energies that can now change and be more joyful to live from?
It's so good. I was listening to, I think it might have been the symphony class or an ESP class from Dr. Dane, so one of the co-creators of Access, and he said this thing of like, where after a class sometimes you're like, yeah, I'm being this thing, and then you're like, where did it go? And then he said it's because you're already being it, but when you be it, it doesn't really feel like anything anymore. And I was like, oh, and I'm really noticing that with this as well, that like I don't feel the need to like have to hang on to this expansion or whatever, because I know like, oh wait, all the new spaces we access, like I'm being them, and maybe I'm that fast at them that I don't notice that I already be them so quickly. So, but just from trusting in that and knowing that, it's been a lot more ease, like choosing new spaces instead of wanting to go to this thing I defined as the symphony or whatever. So it's been really cool. The speed of it has been good.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes. And you have a lot of like fun energies that I like as well. There's also like something interesting as well, like that everyone who does the sessions is like different. So sometimes it like, I think maybe 2 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to receive your lightness. And so, and it's funny how it like evolves all the time. So I'm like, everyone's different with it as well. I think that's super interesting.
What is it like? What does that mean for you? Like, what do you see the difference in your life like 2 years ago from where you are now?
oh, that I'm not as well, I can still be in some places, but I used to be quite harsh on myself and like a lot of force. And like now I still do it, but I think I do it a lot less, but I just notice it more when I do it because it hurts.
Right. Yeah.
Like this is like the after the symphony, I was like, oh my God, like I thought this was supposed to be like an enrichment, but then I realized I was becoming aware so dynamically of everywhere where I was like choosing something that wasn't like ease, joy, glory. And this is like the whole day. So it's actually like a gift that I'm aware so quickly when I'm choosing something that's like not space for me.
That's true. And that can be like if we have been trained our whole life to be focused on the negative or like what is not working or and so on. It can be then when like being starting to be exploring even more, it's like, okay, everything is even more visible in a way. But that is, and as you say so beautifully, like that is when you have a different choice. That is not
Yeah.
like, it's not that you're more fucked up. It's just that you were more aware of different energies that has been in life. And now it's possible to choose something different. And maybe it's then more fun to have a more of lightness energy and being kinder. Like at some point
Yeah.
it's really, at least for me, that is really what it comes down to when I notice myself going into a drama or an energy that is like where I notice that I get energy out of it. I'm like, oh, like there's a lot of feelings and I'm feeling alive. And then at some point it's like, ah, is this really fun for me any longer? Like, do I really want to like continue engaging
Yeah.
in energies, or would it actually be more fun to like take a step back from that and like having a more easeful way of looking at life? And I think I even notice myself sometimes I go to that, it feels boring.
Yeah. I was out in that today and yesterday. I'm like, I'm so bored now. But then it's like, okay, but this is just because we're not used to it as well. And like used to making choices like out of choice instead of making choices to get out of something that we don't like.
Yeah.
So it's like really, and yeah, that was funny because that was today. And then that's also when this live popped up because I was like, okay, it's like, that's apparently that's fun. Like that's light.
Yeah.
And it's not like, you know what I mean? Like I used to have a definition of fun like that where I had to be like, you know, like crying of laughter or whatever. And then it's like, oh, wait, like this is like such a, this is also a peaceful creation, like what we're doing right now. And it's like, it blows my mind sometimes. Like I wouldn't have been able to experience that like years ago because it was just like, it's either force or distraction. So it's just like funny how the symphony, it makes something available that a lot of people don't know is available. So if you don't know it's available, like, of course you don't know it's like, it's, I can't even explain it. Like if you don't know it's available, so you think you only have like a few options here. And then it's like, oh wait, there's like this available. And then it like becomes so contracted to still choose those options because it's like, oh, there's all this stuff available. We just haven't had it gifted to us yet or made available.
Yeah, I had an experience like a while ago where I met a person who was so like wanting to engage with me and had ideas for what was possible and so on. And I was like, it was just not a match for me. I was like, it's not there. Like I really would like to do these things, but it's just not working in a way. And then after that, I was thinking like, what was going on there? Like what was going on here? And what I got was that this person was not in a vibration where we could match. It was like we were going like this way, like even though we had like similar things that could work out, it was just like, how do we do this?
Yeah.
And in that I saw myself in past experiences where I've been wanting so much and being like, yes, let's do this. But I was not ready. Like I was not there energetically to be able to receive that creation, that relationship, that thing that I in a way desired. And this experience was really, it really was like something fell into place there where it's really, where also how the Symphony of Possibilities is an invitation to like be more energetically receptible for what you want to have in life. that you don't have to force yourself into like, now I'm gonna be here and it's gonna work out, that you can more like, okay, I relax into what I want to have. And from there, I know that something maybe even greater will show up than I can think right now.
Yeah. So cool. I love it. I love it how we like, it's so funny if I think back, like, because we met each other in a 3-day body class. And then I think we like got to know each other really well without words. And then we saw each other again in Paris at the Talk of the Entities Advanced. And you said like, oh, we didn't really talk very much at body class, but then it still like felt like I knew you or something. So it was like, oh, it's so interesting how this like work, like, or how do you say it? This like modality or whatever, how like, even in a body class, if you don't verbally speak, like you meet each other. And with the symphony as well, like with the people in the group, I don't know who they are. I haven't even looked at their faces, which is unique for me. And I actually like that because I tend to like do this thing where like, this is the person. So I'm defining them. And it's actually been like really a contribution getting to know them like just on a being level. So I've like, I haven't even had the desire to look them up or anything. Normally I'll do that. Like be like, who's all these people? And now I'm like, oh no, like they were contributing in the groups and in the session groups. And I was like, oh, like I know them. Like, you know.
Yes, it's true. And that's also what I like so much with like everyone showing up each week, but also that it's different people. So like last night was the most recent session, and it was some new people as well. And for me, like what I perceive, the energy was completely different because everyone that is showing up like brings their own magic. And also in a symphony session, I don't see that I do anything to you or to the persons like participating. I see it like I open up to a space and here's the Symphony of Possibilities, and it's an energy that everyone is and have access to, and now we can play. And then like everyone is like playing on their own level or their own vibration where they are right now, and just contributing to this mix of magic. And it's just nice, and we don't really have to understand it, but it's just a nice space, and life gets more magical, which is for me like why would life not be magical? I like magic.
Yeah, exactly. And that's that whole thing of like where I'm like sometimes bored with this reality, and I know that, and that's okay. And I really had to acknowledge that this morning. I was like, I'm so bored with it. Okay. Instead of fighting that, like, why can't I acknowledge it? And that was actually like when I realized, okay, cool. So I don't have to change this reality to not be bored, but I can all choose other stuff that's like gonna contribute to me. And then I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. Like I can just like, I don't have to make this reality more interesting for me. I can just choose all this other stuff. Like to me, this was like eureka. I was like, oh wow. It sounds so simple, but it was like for me such a moment of epiphany or something. Like
yes. And that is when we don't know of choices, it's difficult to choose it. And then the more seeing that, oh, I actually have a different choice here. And it's like different world.
Cool. When is the next group session, Anna Banana? Maybe the people want to know. I always call you Anna Banana, and I don't know if you mind, but I'm like, oh,
No,
never said I don't like it.
No, go for it. It's fun. The next session is on Tuesday. Like it will be every Tuesday evenings in European time. So at 8 o'clock at Tuesdays is like their regular time in Central European time. And yeah, that's like come play. If that is for just one session, for several sessions, you'll find the information here somewhere with this video.
Nice. Cool. Do you think we have anything else to contribute, or are we mellowing out the live?
I'm fine right now. I'm happy.
Marshmallowing out the live. Awesome. Thanks, Anna. This was already also a contribution. My body's happy.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much, Eva. And
thank you.
Ciao.
Bye.